Hello students, this is your English lesson. Today we are going to read a poem, Last Lesson of the Afternoon from Oxford Modern English, Book 8. So we start our lesson. First of all, words to know. Abyss, a chasm or gorge, so deep that its existence is not visible. Brunt, the main force of something, especially a blow or an attack. Dross, waste or impure matter, worthless. Indifference, unconcern, apathy, the state of being indifferent, apathetic. It is all my aunt, an expression of indifference and disbelief. It's all the same to me. Leash, a strap, chain, or rope used to control the animal it is attached to, especially a dog or hound. Cure, somebody or something that is chased or hunted by another. Here, the target or objective. Slovenly, untidy, marked by negligence, slipshod. Three score, 60. A score is 20. Toll, a fixed charge or tax payable to pass a barrier. The cost or damage caused by an accident in terms of property destroyed, financial loss, etc. The sound of a bell being struck with a succession of strokes. Now read the poem together. When will the bell ring and end this weariness? How long have they tugged the leash and strained apart? My pack of unruly hounds, I cannot start them again on a quarry of knowledge they hate to hunt. I can howl them and urge them no more. No longer now can I endure the brunt of the books that lie out on the desks, a full threescore of several inserts of blotted pages and scroll of slovenly work that they have offered me. I am sick, and what on earth is the good of it all? What good to them or me, I cannot see. So, shall I take my last dear fuel of life to heap on my soul and kindle my will to a flame that shall consume their dross of indifference and take the toll of their insults in punishment? I will not. I will not waste my soul and my strength for this. What do I care for all that they do amiss? What is the point of this teaching of mine and of this learning of theirs? It all goes down the same abyss. What does it matter to me if they can write a description of a dog or if they can't? What is the point? To us both, it is all my aunt, and yet I am supposed to care with all my might. I do not and will not. They won't and they don't, and that's all. I shall keep my strength for myself. They can keep theirs as well. Why should we beat our heads against the wall of each other? I shall sit and wait for the bell. I shall sit and wait for the bell. Now, summary of the poem. This poem is written by David Herbert Lawrence, who was an author, poet, and painter. In this poem, he has painted the hollow educational system, immorality, and hopelessness. The poem reflects the picture of a teacher who seems to be hopeless against the undisciplined class. The teacher has applied various techniques to inspire the students to work hard, but he couldn't motivate them. He feels that his teaching and learning of the students are both useless because he can no longer urge them to do so. Now come to the exercises. Understanding the poem, answer the following questions. A. Which idea does the poem begin and with? Answer. The idea is when will the bell ring and signal the end of this tedious lesson? B. What metaphor does the poet use in the first stanza of the poem? With which words is this metaphor sustained? Answer. The poet uses the metaphor of a pack of hounds, his pupils, tugging at their lashes and straining. He continues this metaphor by using words such as curry, prey, hunt. Later, he brings up the subject of dogs again. See, why does the poet think of his pupils as a pack of unruly hounds? Answer. They are not interested in the quest or hunt for knowledge and are unruly in their behavior. D. What is the insult that the poet refers to in stanza 3? Answer. The insults are referred to even prior to this in stanza 2. They are the books scattered across the desks waiting for correction, and specifically the pages in these books containing blotted pages and scrolls of snarly work. E. In stanza 3, the poet seems angry. Why? Answer. The poet does not want to waste the last dear fuel of life, his energy and what is left to him of his life, and take their insults, their slovenly work as punishment. He decides here that he will not take this any longer. F. In stanza 4, the poet, remember he is a teacher, uses the word abbas. What does he want to show about his own situation by the use of this word? Answer. This means that he has sunk to the very lowest point of his life. He cannot sink any further, for take this kind of life any more. G. In stanza 5, Lawrence says, and yet I am supposed to care with all my might. With reference to the notes for the poem, what does this mean? Answer. Lawrence was supposed to care because at the time he was a teacher, but he felt his time at school was futile. H. What is the poet's final decision or resolve? Answer is, the poet's final resolve is to sit it out, wait for the bell, and not drain his strength, but keep it to live his own life. He has given up trying. These questions are more difficult. Discuss them first. 1. The poet shows his feelings in the poem. Which of the following words best describe them? 1. Sadness, joy, despair, anger, frustration. So the answer is more than one emotion is presented. 1. Despair, I can howl them and urge them no more. No longer can I endure the brunt. I am sick, and what on earth is the good of it? Anger. I will not waste my soul. I do not and will not. Frustration. Many instances where he asks a question and then answers it. The fact that he asks such questions indicates he is frustrated. What is the point? J. Give two examples of the use of metaphors in the poem. The answer is the metaphor of a pack of unruly hounds straining at the leash and not prepared to join the hunt. Fuel of life, to kindle my will to flame that shall consume. Answer the following questions with reference to context. A. I am sick, and what on earth is the good of it all? What is the speaker sick about? Answer. He is sick of untidy work which students offer to him. 2. What is the it that is referred to? Answer. It refers purpose of all this. 3. What question does the speaker subsequently ask? Answer. What good to them or me? I cannot see. 4. What action does the speaker decide on? Answer. He will not spend his energy on his learners. B. And take the toll of their insults in punishment. 1. What does the word toll imply? Answer. Toll means a tax and it also applies to the sound of a bell being sounded. 2. In what senses is it applicable to the speaker's situation? Answer. The tax would refer to the way in which he has to pay for or suffer the indifference of his pupil, and also perhaps to when a church bell tolls at the time of a funeral, in this case his own. 3. What does the speaker decide to do? Answer. He decides to not waste his time or energy anymore. See, what is the point? To us both, it is all my aunt. 1. What is the point that the speaker is referring to? Answer is the point is whether they can write a description of a dog or if they can't. 2. What does the expression it's all my aunt mean? Answer is it's all the same to me. I'm indifferent to it. 3. What does this show about the speaker's feelings about his profession? Answer. He has come to the end of this tether and feels that there is little hope left for his pupils. He decides to give up teaching because he is bitter. B. Working with words. Notice the way Lawrence has chosen his words carefully. And scroll of slowly work. Notice the alliteration in the line, the repetition of the S sound. It forces us to pronounce them with emphasis and a sneer reflecting Lawrence's own feelings. He is filled with disgust, hatred almost at the behavior of his pupils and his inability to get them to stop acting like unruly hounds who have lost sight of their prey, the knowledge acquired through education. His words are filled with sarcasm. One pick out another example of alliteration in the poem. So the example is when will the bell ring and this weariness they hate to haunt I can howl them the brunt of the books my soul and my strength for this description of a dog. Use these expressions in sentences of your own. A. Waste my soul. I will never waste my soul working in this institution because I don't enjoy this job. B. With all my might, I will work with all my might on behalf of my country. C. Strained apart. The gentleman strained apart from the crowd due to his aesthetic look. D. Slowly work. Such slowly work habits will never produce good habits. You must change your attitude. E. The same abyss. Our country is plunging into an abyss of violence and lawlessness. Learning about language. Join these sentences using a present participle. A. She noticed a snake. It was sliding into a hole. She noticed a snake sliding into a hole. B. They heard a peacock. It was shrieking out loud. They heard a peacock shrieking out loud. C. The man spied a ship. It was sailing into the harbor. The man spied a ship sailing into the harbor. D. The boys watched the bees. They were flying into the hive. The boys watched the bees flying into the hive. To rewrite the following sentences, making corrections or alterations where necessary. A. In the house and in the garden, small bees flying and speeding about in confusion, causing much distress the family. So the correct sentence is in the house and in the garden small bees were flying and speeding about in confusion, causing much distress to the family. B. Walking along the quiet path last night, the crescent moon looked beautiful. While we were walking along the quiet path last night, the crescent moon looked beautiful. C. A small rabbit hopping along, chasing butterflies, the garden. A small rabbit was hopping along, chasing butterflies in the garden. D. Shouting loudly, they arrested the demonstrators outside the city hall. They arrested the demonstrators shouting loudly outside the city hall. E. Seeing that all was ready, the pistol went off the race to start. When everything was ready, the pistol went off for the race to start. F. Crossing the Gulf of Oman, the sea was very rough. When the ship was crossing the Gulf of Oman, the sea was very rough. G. The children saw 5 rose bushes walking through the forest this afternoon. While the children were walking through the forest this afternoon, they saw 5 rose bushes. H. Driving his car round the corner, a dog ran under Gaffar's wheel. As Gaffar was driving his car around the corner, a dog ran under his wheel. I. Watching the passengers carefully and waiting for his family, the old man sitting on a bench all day. The old man sat on a bench all day, waiting for his family and watching the passengers carefully. J. Cycling across the field, a ball suddenly appeared in front of me. While I was cycling across the field, a ball suddenly appeared in front of me. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.